This is Past the Rock.
That's right. This is Past the Rock, stripped down and only coming to you tonight from 2 locations currently. I believe you'll get something from Caesar a little bit later on his own, as he was not able to join us tonight. Again, another holiday week, so uh, it's fine. He can do whatever the heck he wants. Yeah, but we do have Jacob here, so hey, Jacob.
She. Did you hear that Isaiah Whitlock just passed away?
Oh, I did not. That sucks. I
Yeah.
was unfortunately just hoping you were doing that for fun. That sucks.
And this is only a few days after Ziggy Sabatka was.
Old Ziggy.
Yeah.
I need to watch. Was he in Generation Kill? I've never seen that.
I have not seen Generation Kill as well.
I hear incredible things about it, but I've never touched it myself.
I would be not surprised in the least bit if they're all parts of that cast. I mean, it's just the way it goes. But yeah, it is sad to hear. That one's both of them, I guess, very unexpected because the other one was suicide. So very, very tragic there. I think Isaiah, probably just an older guy. He was like 70 something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he didn't seem young when I saw him on the wire. So, yeah, we are back for another week of a little bit of sports talk here. Christmas happened, I think, since last time we did something, since y'all recorded.
Oh, there's been so much. There's college football is playing both meaningful games and
Caesar just did his own thing, and I forgot to do mine. I had this whole plan where I was gonna get really drunk and do a drunk holiday video, but the problem is now when I get drunk, I just fall asleep.
Well, that could have been the video. Is you started. And you wake up eventually like, oh, fuck.
You saw how long it took me to set up this nonsense. Imagine that.
No, yeah, I think there's been a lot as far as the sports world goes. I think it's been mostly minor stuff, other than the playoff game for college football.
Well, we found out that the Thunder might not be the greatest team of all time.
There's been some basketball storylines played out. Impressively, there's been like 3 games of the Thunder and the Spurs in that span, which is even more incredible.
I know. I was checking up until like 11 a.m. Christmas morning on ticket prices, but they never really dropped that low. Like you could get in for like $80, but
yeah,
that didn't seem worth it to me.
You get to bang the drum.
Not in Oklahoma City.
Oh, you're gonna go out to Oklahoma.
That's where they were playing on Christmas.
You guys could still, you and whatever Spurs fans are there, but yeah, a lot of basketball. I think that the pro football is happening. I had a fever dream that the Dallas Cowboys wore some really awesome uniforms, but I don't believe that. I think it was just a dream.
Did they wear anything different than normal?
They're dead and gone. Yeah, so I had a fever dream that they wore white helmets with the Navy jerseys, and it looked amazing, like I would have done like I've done in Madden a billion times.
I like that you just picked basketball for the Christmas games.
The NFL can suck my dick. That was already gonna, it was gonna be difficult if the Cowboys were actually good this season to make that commitment to fuck the NFL. This year, very simple and easy. It was very easy. We were just playing Switch the whole time in the living room. My mom had that shit on in the background. I got to watch some basketball when I finally got home from Waco, but
you weren't using your phone to watch on Prime or something.
Not as needed. I think that if you watch the NBA, especially the post games, man, these guys can't wait to tell you how miserable they are for having to play on Christmas or having to do everything. It's not an ideal look from the old guys. At least it's mostly the old guys, though. That's good.
We got some of that in the NFL, too, I believe. Was it one of the Lions crying about it?
Well, if I'm an NFL player, I'm definitely it's nice to get a little more money, obviously, but I'm definitely at least the playing on random days. Like if this was just every Sunday or, Thursday or Monday.
Yeah, if Christmas was always a Thursday, Thanksgiving is, I could see that.
I think that this is just so chaotic for the players that I just don't think there's any other than the almighty dollar, which is obviously the biggest decider in all this. But you know, I think the ratings thing's a little overrated. So nowadays they're just jostling to put as much of the product out there. It's cut, you know what I mean? We're gonna keep on the wire references. They're cutting the product heavy. In the
Stepping on it.
What are we in week 25 of the NFL season?
Week 17 just wrapped up. That's true.
Yeah.
Let me look at. Oh wait, I didn't even put scores on here, so I don't even know what the scores were. I know the Vikings won.
Yeah.
The Lions with Max Brosmer doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think he had 3 yards passing.
Well, that's because they count sack yards. That's a.
Oh.
He had like, okay, he only had like 57 yards or something stupid like that. But it was a net 3 after his sack yards.
Oh, I see. Okay, I was wondering what kind of stat. I was like, damn, how did they pull off just 3 yards passing?
No.
And how many completes that one completion is that?
That was a very weird way to put it, just to make it. I mean, he didn't have a great game.
Again, you're trying to sell cut
I'm not
product.
saying he had a great game. His best play was a handoff to Addison that went for like 25 yards.
And how about season-ending injuries for relevant teams? Is there more of those, or is the NFL surviving that at least?
Very likely there were.
Yeah, that's the one where it's like, I don't want to. It's not an "I told you so" I want to give, but it's like, how can it not happen?
It is funny to be like, we want to be a sports podcast, and then be like, we didn't watch the second of last week season.
No, that's how we stay true to it, because this is an improper time. We should be watching wild card playoff games.
I watched my terrible Vikings team, and they won. It paid off.
No, I refuse to watch.
And then
team that's eliminated that just so we can tanking.
So we can bounce around here, as you mentioned. We found out the next day, I guess, that or a couple days before that the San Antonio Spurs decided they were going to do the skull chant too. So now 2 of my favorite teams.
Well, yeah, it's
the drum beat skull.
Wimby's just doing something. It's just they're taking it from the Europeans.
That's fine. It's just weird that it's the 2 teams that I root for that aren't like the local teams are both now doing that.
Maybe you had influence.
Me or Red McCombs.
You're
former owner of both teams for some reason.
You're part of their AI generated user base. You know, I mean, they're trying to understand the ideal Spur and Viking
I'm in a simulation doesn't seem to.
No, simulation is not always going to go your way. That's
Vikings probably win something, but
yes, there's a lot of New Year's resolutions and new things happening in this world.
Oh, we saw Phillip Rivers' second last game because they're going to
start out.
They're going to start the kid.
Yeah, he noped out against the Texans defense. I think they still have to play for position, so that's probably smart. Probably a good call from old.
Did you see the stat that Sauce Gardner went 1-7 on the Jets this year? Then got traded to the Colts and proceeded to go 1-7.
I thought he got hurt.
I mean, I don't know. Just the team did that with him on the roster, I guess.
That's really unfortunate for him. I mean, it was similar to Quinnen Williams. Whenever he got traded here, he's like, "I'm tired of losing, and I just don't want to do any more losing." And it was like the second he said that, they hadn't won 3 games in a row. So I was like, "Ooh, buddy." I mean, it's nice to welcome to the group, but you might get used to losing a little bit more at least. And most of those, right?
How do you feel about Eberflus in the booth?
The Eberflus, he's fired. They said that they're going to try to come after your guy, but I don't believe that rumor.
Why would Brian Flores take a pay cut to go be DC for a second-year head coach?
I think you have to follow a logic that the Cowboys, for the first time in checks notes 50 years, are going to pay somebody over compensating someone to bring them in. Probably the first time since Dion, if we're being honest.
Yeah, Roy Williams,
for a trade, I suppose.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about really overpaying,
actual cash money.
Yeah, maybe Wade Phillips over. I think maybe Wade.
What's his name? The receiver who got paid and then kept getting hurt.
Mari?
He's not that good. recent guy. Not this
Joey
isn't funny
Galloway
'cause I'm forgetting his name. No. Recent guy.
for the
He
Cowboys.
had all the physical skills, but he just kept getting hurt.
For the Cowboys,
This is really good content. I don't. Yeah, what's his? You know his damn name.
I don't know what you're talking about. Gallup.
Gallup, Michael Gallup. Yeah, they spent a bunch of money on Michael Gallup,
Gallup was a draft pick.
but they still like gave him a second contract.
Yeah, that's normal business, though. I suppose that was just a poor. Those are poor business decisions. It's the
No, I don't.
overpaying someone to like it's like what people in college football do all the time, right? It's like what's the coolest thing you can do right now with college football? Overpay for someone else to come in, even if they're mediocre. Just steal that guy's coach, steal that guy's player.
Maybe
That kind of
it's
logic.
possible. I think Brian Flores has his sights on being a head coach, which maybe that's what they would sell him on. Is like, look, Shoddy ain't gonna be here forever.
No, and what's no, that would be really tough for Shoddy. But I would also think it's really depressing to hear some of the Cowboys reporters quickly talk about how Al Harris has no shot. That's really fucked up because I don't think we realized how bad that situation had gotten last year. So he's doing really well with the Bears, and I think he's going to be looked at as a DC candidate. And apparently, he may not have any interest at all in Dallas.
Look, it's not the only one, but it's the most notable toxic situation in pro football to work for, I would think.
Depends on where you
I think
fall
most
in their
people who know
hierarchy.
going in, it's like there's a barrier here that only exists on a few teams, and this one may be more so just because he's got cameras in front of him.
It's the thing is like they try to play chicken with you when it comes to how much of a showboat you want to be. Like for Prescott, for Zach Martin, for the D Law, even to some extent, those guys could really fit in the program for a while because they really stuck to it. I mean, Odigizua, some guys that they'll pay, keep around. They're guys that work really hard, stay sort of low key, to as much as Dak Prescott can stay low key.
I mean, he doesn't have to be doing videos with Dude Perfect renovating his house.
Right, but it's that content, and it's not all the stuff with the new, now released digs or the Amari Cooper stuff. Probably the most frustrating and most unclear.
Definitely not White House material.
Not as bad as the White House days, but then there's even stuff with Des Bryant where like that relation, the way they treat Des is like they basically just understand that he knows enough about where the shit's buried to where just like Mike Irvin, no matter how
his own though, like
bro,
is it damaging to them if he reveals his own stuff?
But it's Mike. It's like it's just like Mike, dude. Like it doesn't matter how if they ever go crazy and do the bipolar flip on Jerry, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be in the booth a week later watching the game from a suite. You know what I mean? Like that's just. I don't know. It's a funny ecosystem, but yeah, that is the rumor though, is that they want to steal y'all's guy, and the only thing I can laugh about is just that it's just impossible for me to believe that they're going to even pay something competent. Like
no,
I think
I don't.
We already got the bulk of it is the news release.
I don't know what he's getting paid, but I just don't see what the true benefit is.
Well, maybe I think you could overpay from what Minnesota could offer, but like I don't.
But
think
for him, is it a better career move to just try to maintain or make Minnesota's better, or to go try to fix another place, which might take longer before you can become a head coach? I don't know. I don't know what the plan is there.
To me, it's how do you become a head coach, and I think he knows Kevin O'Connell's safer in his position, which is fair, at least for now. I mean, maybe it could go bad off another year, and it's a different story. But for now, he seems pretty safe. Schottenheimer has already, had nothing but accusations that he's a stopgap coach. And I like him, and maybe it'll work out and he won't be. But the stopgap stuff isn't going to really stop until he's probably in year 2 or 3. Like, logically, every year, at least for the next 2 seasons, I would think, he's going to have to answer that question because people just don't buy into it. And it's been a successful season, I suppose. But ultimately, I mean, the team is gonna, against my will, finish with a decent record, provided the fact that it's one of the worst defenses that's ever suited up for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's the parity in the league right now. It's wild to me that there are teams that only manage 4 wins.
Yeah, I mean, especially with like
You got to
New
be
Orleans just going on
you
a
got to
heater
be
at the end.
you have to be so bad to not be able to just
Vegas, dude.
bumble into a few.
Vegas. Pete Carroll gonna one and done it. We were talking about Pete Carroll's gonna salvage the.
I don't know. Who knows?
But
he is a guy that I think could. There's the potential that he could revive that a little bit, but
no,
I
I think
wouldn't have
they're. I think
expected
he
it to
did.
happen year one.
I
You
think
think
they
they're
paid
cutting bait?
him. I think they paid him to tank, and we're now all coming to that realization together.
Hey,
maybe Chip Kelly really just fucked this whole thing up. Speaking of, unless you want to keep going pro football, I was just gonna.
whatever you got, man, that'll be better.
We got a
than
little college football. We got a little
the
college
big
football.
bag of nothing I'm carrying today.
So Chip Kelly, fired by the Raiders at some point in this season, was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State that won the national championship the year before that, or 2 years, whatever it goes. Year before that, he was the UCLA head coach and decided to resign pretty much out of nowhere because he was kind of just overdoing the bullshit. And he just wants to call plays, basically. So now he's headed to Northwestern.
He got tired of Madden. He wanted to move to NFL head coach or whatever it was called.
Dude, I mean, honestly, that's kind of what Chip Kelly's life is. He's like, yeah, I just, I mean, he wanted to go to the NFL where he could just call plays, obviously, and then that's all he really has to worry about. Now you go back to college, you deal with someone else who's got the pressure in the hot seat. You just got to do your offensive thing. Northwestern's investing a lot. I think that if we're looking for a sequel to Vandy or maybe Indiana, but probably more like Vandy, it could be Northwestern. They're putting a lot of money into a nice stadium. They're in Chicago. They have a good alumni base. Like, I think it's not without the realm of possibility that Northwestern could be a bit of a national.
Are they actually in Chicago, like downtown?
Yeah, I think they're not down. I don't think they're downtown, but I think they're in Chicago proper.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they closer than wherever the new Bears Stadium is going to be? Because that could actually be a big boost for them.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah. Actually,
if they're
I think
stadium,
so. I think that might be true. Actually, now
you would think SMU would have tried to do something with that with the Cowboys. I don't know if that geography works, but whenever the Cowboys left, Dallas area,
you would think that they would take. I mean, and there's still nothing where the Cowboys Stadium, got exploded in 2009, and there's still.
Yeah, I don't even know. Does Gary still own that land?
Well, that was the land I think bought by Cuban / the Adelsons at some point during all the. I believe the Adelsons own that land.
Checks out.
Yeah. So
they're Gary won three Super Bowls here. There must be some magic.
Well, that's where they want their casino arena thing. But of course, the politics of the casino stuff in Texas is
that one's
mostly
still weird to me. I don't obviously don't read enough to keep up, but it's still so wild to me. I don't know what logic those people are using to be like, we don't want this money.
Well, the funny thing with it is that there was a whole talk about Vegas too. Like that was a real conversation about 2 or 3 years ago about the future of Dallas. And
because Dallas is literally nothing.
Yeah, so
there's no Dallas culture, right? It's like
no, DFW is a big metropolitan area. I think the culture of Dallas is actually one that's really funny if you think about it. Yes, it's a little boring. Yes, it's not very old. But what is it really at its quantity? Like, what is it really the best at? It might be one of the best cities in the country at doing the melting pot.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the South, right? Especially in the American South. Like, if you take New York and LA and Chicago out of the equation, which is a big, obviously, omission, but if you take those places that have, prided themselves on that sort of thing since day one, for the most part, we as a southern city, you just don't see that. Like, there are large parts of the world that are very, very segregated, not necessarily in the most fucked up way, but still in obvious ways. And it feels like DFW, you have pockets of people. Like, I live in Irving. There's a lot of Indian people here. The more you push towards...
it's all transplant. It's pretty much all transplants. There are people who are kind of from around here, but not...
I would argue even the white people here, very much recent
that's what I mean.
transplants. Yeah,
Transplants.
recent transplant.
Everyone from
Everybody.
everywhere. Mostly the
Hispan
Midwest.
A lot of Hispanic people have moved up here in the last however 20 years. Like
And
we
then
have
obviously,
just seen so many different cultures blend and find their little pockets.
DFW airport being built was big, bringing over a bunch of people from the Pacific Islands. Katrina changed a lot of demographics.
Katrina was big for us and Houston for sure. A lot of Louisiana Cajun flavor now here in both the cities.
I don't know how true this is, but I remember hearing someone talking about this. But basically, the concept of the American Southwest was basically just like a PR campaign created in Dallas for Dallas of like, we need something.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Dallas was like I try to describe it to people, but it's if you're old enough even for us, you can pretty much remember being a kid and there being a lot of space between things in Dallas. To like, if you wanted to go to Grapevine, like there was stuff to do, but it was not all connected.
Dallas proper wasn't in entirely one strip mall yet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's those kind of things where, but even though like going from Grapevine to downtown proper, there used to just not be as much, and now there's so much.
I mean, they're right next to each other, but even like I said, Northwestern Hills, even through like Grapevine, Colleyville, that didn't all used to be filled up.
Yeah, no, all of that is so much more populated, and it makes sense. It's more affordable places for people to have
had to go somewhere, and since everyone's already coming to DFW,
and Fort Worth is.
And we didn't even mention
so many suburbs.
Toyota moving their entire pickup truck building operation here.
Yep. So yeah, in the North Dallas project, that there's a billion YouTube accounts following right now. The super city, as they call it, mega city that is Frisco.
Oh god, dude.
Yeah, no. If you watch some YouTube stuff on Frisco, it's pretty crazy. It's nothing too surprising because we live here, but to have like some other people who aren't from here that are just kind of into this niche thing on YouTube,
like Jerry Jones is building the city for the for whatever the next country's going to be.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, so that's the chaos there. Will Muschamp is your new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't think the defensive coordinator was a problem, but it sounds like he wanted to go back to USC anyways. So I think that was kind of like a.
Did he end up?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't follow.
I also heard Oregon was in that mix.
But yeah, I think
they lost their guy
to it. Getting back to the West was kind of something he wanted, and Sark had already wanted Muschamp before, so it seems like it's fine for everybody.
Yeah, and Will hasn't been doing nothing, even though it seems like that to the naked eye. He has been a part of the Georgia staff for the last few years. Just hasn't been a main part of the, like not like a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and that's part of being in the coaching cycle is sometimes you got to sit a bit for something that you actually want.
And it's weird the way you progress.
He's got a big enough name to be able to do that. So
yes, and then this is actually. Will's a fun one. I'm excited. I think you're right to feel interested, but like not exactly.
It's
like
not going to move the needle for me much on the field, I don't think.
And have you been seeing Sark's comments on the portal and the agents and stuff? It's been quite funny.
I think I saw something today where he was just saying it's like obvious for some. It's some people's first time being an agent.
Yeah, he said that like he's suspecting
like
that there's roommates doing it. Yeah, he said roommates.
Or like, kind of LeBron style. Just get Maverick in there.
He was like, how can I argue with this? And of course, these kids are going to try that. And LeBron was right to tell the story. Rich Paul has been great. Maverick Carter has been great. But kids aren't going to necessarily listen to the full. Like how much I think kids are just now getting to know who Maverick Carter and Rich Paul really are and understand that like they took the responsibility of being in that entourage more serious than what we stereotype entourage as, like
probably,
with the HBO
probably
show.
More serious than LeBron even did because he probably didn't even really know.
Yeah, I mean,
how serious it really was.
Yeah, I would almost.
It worked out just like everything with LeBron. It somehow worked out kind of perfectly.
I'm telling you, and I honestly wonder how much he really knew that those guys. He probably would give me a spiel.
And I feel bad saying this because I don't want to disrespect him or his family, but the conspiracy theory that he's created in the lab it's one that I will gladly gravitate towards because he seems like everything about him is just perfect.
It's only unfortunate because the stories that it just gets into tropes about what we do know about his potential father and all that stuff.
Right.
And then
Right. Yeah. I don't want to deal with the
it's
messy,
tough.
sticky part of it. I just want to think that he's the $6 billion man.
No, sometimes people really are special built like that. And that's why I think it's phenomenal to watch like young Cooper Flag, because it's just like, fuck, dude, you've been given incredible amount of tools here, except for one thing, both of them. Cooper Flag, you don't see it as much yet. But LeBron, if you go back to the rookie year, you wouldn't have seen it either as much.
Hair.
The bangs are hiding it.
Yeah.
But we've seen Cooper Flag's family. We see the way the bangs set down. It's okay. Look, kid's got everything else. Well, everything else physically. He still needs to work on his game quite a bit, but it's incredible how good he is.
I've seen enough people who don't probably already have as much money as he's made in this 1 year that have decent hair transplants. He'll be all right if he really wants it.
Yeah, that's the fun part, is what's the play for him?
Although it is weird because all the athletes it doesn't seem to look right. I don't know what that's about.
Dude, so the Lakers got waxed on Christmas, but that wasn't the most.
Oh,
that wasn't the part
they were waxing.
That wasn't the part that caught my eye. LeBron's hair and beard. I had not seen it so.
What do you do?
So black, so dark.
He dyed it out.
I had not seen it that rich and just full of life since it's been a while. And then it was even better because it was LeBron's beard, because LeBron's still basically just doing a really short top on his head, right? But Rui Hachimura, which Rui's closing in on 30, Rui had a full shiny black head too, and I was just like, oh man. They both put something on before, because it's Christmas Day. Everybody's gonna be watching. I was like, that's crazy. Just like not quite like Jaylen Brown, although his got wiped off on people's heads, and then he got a sponsorship out of it,
which is weird.
Well, I mean, they're not hiding it.
Once, I can't believe that you don't have the self-awareness to be like, all right, I can't do that anymore.
Do people hide Botox? They don't. This is the NBA player version of Botox. Is just keeping your hair as long as you can.
But his wasn't even like, you know what I mean? Like it's not, but it's the expensive version of just putting marker on your head. Like,
no, and it's so amazing, because I think that this also shows that recipes have been lost, because like Carlos Boozer is a decade old from doing what he did. And I never thought anyone would have the audacity to repeat Carlos Boozer. And yet here we are. No one's gone back and done the Drew Gooden patch on the back of the neck and nothing else. We've left some fads back where they belong.
That's a name I haven't heard since I played NBA Live 2004.
He actually calls Wizards games, which is, an act of God, really, if you think about it. That's a lot of bad basketball.
That's a miserable existence. I'm happy that's not mine. Oh.
But yeah, so what else? We had some funny. Oh, Riley Dodge. That's a name you might know.
The Southlake quarterback?
Southlake quarterback, former.
Is it the dad or the son?
Former savior of the UNT football program. The son. This was the player.
Todd's the dad.
Todd was the dad. Riley Dodge was Southlake Carroll's head coach for the longest time. Most recently, he is now joining the SMU offensive staff. Just a similar general role for the offensive side, like Will Muschamp had for Georgia's defense.
Feels like Southlake University anyways, right?
No, I mean, that's naturally I just think it's interesting because, Riley Dodge, obviously, as a player, him and his dad sort of were this, like, really big deal that just didn't quite work out the way that they had hoped,
Yeah.
Different era, too. It's funny how that might have gone down in the transfer era. And so, they've done well back at Southlake where this all started, and it just shows that he's ready to move on.
It was like a Deion Shador prototype.
There was a little bit of that. Yep. It was just the old Texas version of it. Texas high school football version.
Slightly less football talent.
I would say maybe considerable, but yeah.
I never saw Shador in high school, so I can only guess. I don't know.
Shador was recruited by all the big dogs.
Yeah, I assume he was pretty good.
Clemson fired Lincoln Riley's little bro as their offensive coordinator. That's mildly notable, but they also lost their bowl game badly. UNT did not. UNT has 2 bowl wins. I guess I've been fucking that up. 2 bowl wins now.
That's it?
As
Really?
a historical team. Yeah, I don't think they were doing bowls back in the 50s.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good call.
So, yeah, we haven't really been good in a while. It was the longest streak of not being in the AP top 25 that we broke this year. Mestamaker and all the guys decided to come back. That was cool. Didn't have to do that.
Or the bowl game.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And they are all now in the transfer portal.
I mean,
Sark,
still very cool. Still very cool they did that. Just yeah.
Sark, you should steal Wyatt Young. Just saying. You need receivers. Although if Cam Coleman left Auburn, that kid's a stud first round NFL receiver. If that kid wants to come to the 40 acres, do Arch a favor, because holy shit, both of those guys could go top 15 if they're playing.
All I want is the best offensive line we can buy for this year.
No, it's true, but the weapons also need to be talked about.
I mean,
Texas.
they do, but it's like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but you would
the other way around
one
is
of those
easier to
things
work
to get
with.
fixed.
I think.
I think you would expect one of them to get fixed. The other one, I have suspicions on. Texas will
we
play.
We can just pull someone off
tomorrow night.
Track and field to hand the ball to if we need to. Just get the line fixed.
Are you gonna watch the Longhorns play the Wolverines tomorrow?
Bowl game. When is that? Is that tomorrow or
it's like
this
2
week?
p.m.
Right?
tomorrow or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. I might as well. I'm off.
And then Kyle Whittingham is now the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines.
You just gave me an excuse to go to the bar at 2 p.m. on a weekday. Come on, dude.
Kyle Whittingham, we kind of suspected this was going to happen, but then they officially announced it recently. Whittingham's a really good coach. He's an older guy. I don't think Michigan gives a shit, as John Harbaugh was a really old guy and sort of had always flirted with the NFL until he did finally go. Unfortunately, he named Rick James Super Freak to be his successor. Sharon Moore decided that being the head coach of Michigan was good, but living a life of, a Cinemax star was better, I suppose.
Clearly, just some things that need to be worked on.
Just a lot going on with the Sharon Moore situation.
He was for him, a very public job.
Kyle Whittingham seems like a guy who's incredibly Mormon and incredibly old.
How's that going to play in Michigan?
I don't think they care because he's saving their asses. He's a very, this is a falling on your face and landing upright kind of situation for Michigan. I'm not saying Whittingham is the best coach of all time and now they're going to go on some dynastic run, but this is going to be a really good play for Michigan not to fall into the Rich Rodriguez era of bad when they went really bad. And it took Brady Hoke was solid, but it was they had to bring that thing real slowly back to life after their legendary coach retired when I was a kid. I forget his name. And not Woody. Woody was Ohio State. So this is the other
I don't know. I don't know my Big Ten football that well.
Either way, some legendary coaches we should talk about. Bobby Petrino's still not officially at UNC, but I think now that Chip Kelly especially is at Northwestern, Bobby Petrino will be Bill Belichick's next offensive coordinator.
He'll do. Bill's like, he'll do.
Yeah. That one was weird because it got reported and then a lot of people were like, well, it's not official, but yeah, he's a candidate. He's a very strong candidate. And I think that's where we last left off. So now people are just assuming that Petrino's going there. We'll see. It's just funny and interesting, mildly at best. 4 bowl games happen. Playoff games.
Oh, yeah. I did look at our picks. I put them in, so let's see how we did here.
Well,
this was going to be part of the drunken episode, was me trying to explain how we did on our picks.
I like it. So OU, they let many men come back on them. By that I mean two men came on their back. Twice in the playoff short history.
Great joke. Sorry, I was away from Mike.
They had 50 Cent come out
Looks
at
like
halftime.
all three of your picks went through. So you ended up with a 4-point round one. C's almost perfect, but he thought that Texas A&M was going to win or cover at least. And I messed up too. I thought Texas A&M was going to win, and I thought Oregon was going to win and cover, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's
I'm
nice.
wildly
James
afraid of
Madison.
this week's picks.
Yeah, I mean, this week is going to be interesting. The Canes won a dumpster fire in College Station. It was a really shitty, windy game. There was like 8 or 9 drives total from both teams, not per team, but like in total from both teams, that ended in missed field goals or interceptions.
Football, especially, and baseball, kind of has this once like the playoffs start. If your team's in the playoffs, just the abrupt way that all of a sudden the Aggie season just went from perfect to you lose, you don't get to play this game, and then you lose the next game you play, and good season.
Yeah, and a very, very difficult one for the Ags because I think they should have lost this game a lot of points to not a lot of points. They end up having opportunity where they're at destiny's door to tie this thing at the end of it. And Marcel Reed throws a pretty bad ball. Look was there, but the ball was behind him. Interception. And the Canes advance. Pretty tough one.
And if they had won that, would they be playing in Arlington this week?
Oh, the Ags? That I don't know for a fact, but I
don't remember how that works.
I don't remember what the bracket looked like.
God, could you imagine the home game they would have had there also?
But again, against who's playing here? I forgot it. Is it Ohio State? And is the Ohio State one?
I think so.
Yeah. And that one's a game where Ohio State, Miami. And that's a game where honestly, I really like Miami's defense. I think they've got a good running game. They've got fun receivers. Feels like Ohio State is going to probably handle that one fairly well.
I definitely trust Ohio State more, but then at the same time, I'm like, all these teams none of them are so strong that I'm like, no way they're gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, based off what we've seen, we have seen an incredible Ohio State program, an incredible Ohio State defense, and they came off a loss that was to the wire to the number one team. There's really no reason to expect them not to be able to handle Miami fairly reasonably well.
They only beat us by 7. That's their best win.
Well, I think they've had a lot of good wins. So, but yeah, I do feel you. I mean, maybe there's some of that. The Big Ten wasn't the best it's been in a while.
No, I just think there's just a little more parity with the portal. Some people are going to complain and say there's certain schools benefiting, but it seems like everyone's benefiting from evening playing field.
Not everybody. There's some pretty early gripes. Iowa State has like 17 players as of the moment. You're seeing the same thing with James Madison. That's just a weird normal probably to get used to. These rosters will fill out, I suppose. But that is an impressive turnaround for I forget who takes over Iowa State's program now, but you've got to basically get the ball rolling on.
You got a whole brand new program to build.
And you're in the Big 12, man.
First year coach, you might as well have a bunch of new players.
There's not a draft pick coming. You're not Oklahoma State. I guess the best thing you can do is is dibs on the head coaching commodities.
It would be funny if there was you lose your conference, so you get an extra $100,000 to spend on this NIL guy or that NIL guy.
Well, it could
obviously $100,000 is not enough for any of these top guys, probably, but
well, and there's a wonder about the regulations of the sport, which I think is the reason Sark is bitching as much as he is he's clearly trying to motivate people to regulate the sport more than It is.
Unfortunately, the only people who are going to listen are the same people who are like, I'm putting forward legislation for Texas to play Texas A&M every year as law.
Ugh, Texas politicians, man. Group of 5, not the best.
Not a great
case.
showing.
Don't know if the Mean Green would have been better. Mean Green.
The offense had
needed everything.
the offense had an opportunity to have a good game. They could have.
Man, the Mean Green cracked me up because it was a 27-20 game at halftime, I think, in their bowl game. We're going to go out to a friend's place that night, and we leave at halftime. And I checked the phone about 30 minutes into being over at the friend's place. UNT's got like a 20-point lead or something now. Like there hasn't been a score one since I left from the San Diego State side. And then, a couple hours goes by and we're socializing and I completely forget to check the final score. And then I see the UNT barely fucking won the fucking football game. And I'm just like,
be that way sometimes.
What the fuck?
But they won.
They did win. Going into this week, I think Indiana's got a real opportunity to establish themselves. I know Kalen DeBoer's program hasn't exactly lived up to the Saban hype, but they're still really good. And if you look at the rankings, they have way more talent.
I think he's exceeded expectations at this point, honestly, because following that up, like that could have gone, they could have just completely fallen off the face of the earth.
There was a moment where watching that Oklahoma game where I definitely was like, oh shit, this might actually go really badly. And he might just go skate over to Michigan. But yeah, he rallied that group together and they avenged a loss on the season, which I think is just as important as anything. And has to make you wonder a little bit about how much.
It would have been nice to get an opportunity to. Unfortunately, one of the teams we lost to, we weren't going to see them in the playoffs anyway. So,
they sucked big fat donkey dicks. And, the Texas mediocre defense lost to them. As much as the offensive line lost, that mediocre defense started to rear its ugly head that day and kept popping up.
When they give up like 16 points,
dude, they lost that game like 20 something. And there was a couple of big plays. That's why it was frustrating. Because like as bad as the offensive game was, they could have survived the swamp, but the defense just couldn't get timely stops. The
thing is, the longer they're out there, the less. Yeah.
No, I get it, but you also have to remember they started off the season with the first 4 games being one of the best defenses statistically.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of got it, and then they have 2 NFL guys, 3 NFL guys with 2 NFL guys. So people got a little carried away, especially myself, and they just did not live up to that hype throughout the rest of the season. But yeah, so that's basically where we were at with the college football. This week's pick, Caesar. What did Caesar say? He had.
I've got Caesar. 1 second. Let me just pull this closer to my eyeballs.
He had
Caesar has Indiana and Oregon covering, Ohio State winning, and he's doubling on that one. You've got the Dogs and the Ducks covering and Ohio State winning, and you're doubling that. I guess I'll make my picks now. Got to pull back up the odds.
Yeah, it's really the only one that's close, really, I suppose. They're all relatively, but the Oregon Texas Tech seems to be a bit of a coin flip. And I do think that Texas Tech will hold their own in that game. I don't know if they can beat Oregon with as much firepower as Oregon's got, but it is going to be a good test for the Red Raiders because it's about push. If you beat Oregon, can you push Oregon at the line of scrimmage consistently? And Texas Tech traditionally has not been a program that can push anybody.
I still understand why ESPN just has to have the worst website.
I think that there's a lack of priorities in their funds.
It's always been bad, though. Even when I used to like going to it.
I think they all they're just
2.5. 2.5. I don't want to touch a 2.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have 2.5 as a spread, yeah. I think Oregon Texas Tech's gonna be fun.
I'm going to go ahead and trust that Ohio State covers this game.
We get
Mostly 'cause
Ohio
it's the largest
State.
spread.
We get Ohio State Miami tomorrow night, I believe.
December 31st, 6:30 p.m. ESPN.
Yeah. So that one will be fun. That'll be interesting. And then the other three, they'll all be during the day on New Year's throughout the day. Oregon, Texas Tech at the early slot.
I'm gonna take Bama to cover, right? Because 7 for Indiana. I think Bama will keep it within 7.
Bama covering is fair. Bama winning is the interesting one, and there seems to be enough people that are getting a little excited on the
At
Bama
this point,
train.
there's nothing that would surprise me for any of these teams, right? Unless someone just laid a complete egg.
I would be pretty shocked if
Speaking
Miami.
of which, I'm going to take Georgia to absolutely, obviously beat Ole Miss, and I hope that I'm wrong, so it'd be funny.
I feel very confident that Georgia and Ohio State will win their games. I do feel the weariness on Indiana, Bama, and I do feel the weariness to write off Texas Tech against an Oregon team that they could be better. Nice. Is this World?
F up, yeah. World's pretty fun. I'm not good at the new stuff on it yet, and I'm about to get picked back up because I took my hand off the controller.
I've got this one too.
Super fun though. I'm really enjoying. I like this. What is it? Not the Grand Prix, but the new extended tour.
Oh, the knockout.
I like that
thing.
a lot.
Yeah,
knockout. Thank you. Yeah.
One of my favorite thing is that I've learned that I can do and to really change the gaming experience for me.
What's that?
I will lay in bed and I will just prop up the blankets with the screen of the Switch in my lap to where I can easily see it in relax mode. And then I'm just big chilling with the Joy-Cons in each hand.
Dude, one of my favorite
playing Guitar Hero behind your back kind of stuff.
One of my favorite things about the Switch 2 that I didn't know until after I received it is that it's got a stand on the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that stand is clutch.
Dude, I can't believe they didn't think to put that on the first one. That's wild.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, we have a Switch 1, but it's the Pocket Switch 1.
Oh, the light. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we didn't realize any of that.
And honestly, I mostly played mine like that anyways. I almost never had it on my TV for most of what I played, which was probably a bad idea, but
the poop bag. I call that the golden poop bag.
I don't think I'm going to be catching up. I'm trying to just freaking get gold on the last of these. I haven't gotten gold on yet.
I had my nephew just he's 4 or 5 years old. I had him just playing on open world, just dicking around like it was a little GTA.
It is fun. I like the concept. I wish there's a little bit more going on there, but this is the first one, so
it seems like you just really do it to unlock it.
I mean, there's a little stuff to do, but it's just I don't know.
And then unlocking things is kind of funny too, because it's a little bit like Tony Hawk's, where you kind of have to be the player.
I almost want it to turn into like a what was the first Simpsons driving game?
Oh,
the taxi game.
Yeah, the crazy taxi version.
Yeah, like if the missions were something like that, that would be fun.
That's true. Shit. Yeah, you could do a little bit more with it. I like this DK fucking armor. Is he like?
Yeah, I love the thing that you can just change clothes. God damn it, another third place. Internet, don't mock me.
Oh, you got the cloud's not too fast.
Yeah, and I'm just I haven't really been checking on the stats. Just grabbing stuff as I unlock it.
I had to learn that because I love using the bikes, but the bikes are all acceleration, no speed. So you have it's different.
I don't know if there is a 200cc that I might unlock because there was 200cc in Mario Kart 8, and holy crap, the bikes on 200cc are ridiculous.
That's hilarious. No,
there's some that I can't even do. Like there's some 200cc's where I have to pick whatever the slowest car and the heaviest person is to even be able to finish first place because you just fly off the map too much. I'm not skilled enough. I was watching videos about people doing speed time trials. There's apparently a hack, and I don't know if it's still available, You could do this hack where you would break the game basically, and at the very start of a time trial, it would like open it up, but the only thing that would load would be like the world itself and you on it, and you couldn't move, you couldn't do anything. But cars, every once in a while, cars would come through and hit you, and they'd like slowly move you forward. And so the guy who has the current record on this one map has like he waited 21 hours in that state, left his switch on to get just slowly move forward. Then he was able to start the time trial, and now he's like 4 seconds ahead from where he's supposed to be.
All right, that's too much commitment, but I appreciate it.
Speedrunning stuff in games is wild. Like, I don't understand how you think to do some of the things, especially in early on in games when it wasn't like a known quantity. Like, who's playing an NES game and is like, okay, I bet the coders thought if I jump in this spot, turn around, hit this button, come over here and do this, that would get me into like the the inventory or the whatever.
That's probably what it is, really, is the coders put this stuff into the early games, and then it became like, if you know, with the coders community, and then that slowly kind
And yeah, sure, some of it is like, and I'm sure this was the case for some Skyrim stuff that I used to do, where stuff that was just in there for the developers that they either forgot to clear out or just thought they closed off and didn't. Sometimes it's just glitches. Like there are these glitches in Mario Kart races because there's like checkpoints that you pass through, like in the computer, basically in the polygons, that you can sort of get yourself around them so it doesn't know where you're at in the race. So you can do like infinite lap races that'll last forever because it'll never add a new lap.
Oh wow! On this one,
yeah, pretty much every Mario Kart there's spots where you can hit, but it's like it usually requires you to do something that you would never do in a real race, obviously, and it's not beneficial because it's just
I see, yeah,
it just makes it so your lap didn't count, so now you're just in last place.
Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, so you probably just you just swerve past it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I really have not explored it as much. So with World, I think I'm going to give it more of an opportunity.
Yeah, and I just like racing. I'm not too worried about like and I like to watch videos about that other stuff, but I'm not a game freak enough to sit there and try to break it. I'm just trying to have fun.
I just want to unlock all the fun stuff. It's really what I want.
I got the new Mario Party where you can use your webcam and be in the game.
Yep.
I'm excited to try some of that.
The Mario Party's fun. There's a lot to it now. There's so much more to it than I've ever.
I like that they've broken it up too. So like there is new stuff, but it's like kind of on its own thing, or you can choose to include it in the real game, like the motion control stuff or whatever. Because I've been playing on
the motion control stuff is unfortunate too, because if you only have one person, you have I have one of those now.
So I mean, I'm playing on this. I haven't even played on the new Joy-Cons yet, which were like the main reason I even wanted it, because the original Switch Joy-Cons are just so small.
Yes, unfortunately, I bought a couple of those. They're fine. They're good because you can use the motion with them. We have 4 motion controllers, but the rest of
you can have 2 people play on what is sort of one controller, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it's a fun one. It's good for kids too. Honestly, I think I might have convinced my my sister and brother-in-law to buy my cousin a Switch 2 or my nephew a Switch 2 because.
Might want to do it soon because they could get wildly expensive soon.
That's what I was telling them. I was like,
they jacked up the accessories like half a year ago.
The accessories are crazy too. Yeah, paying like $100 to get a freaking controller or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Pro one was like 60 or 70.
Yeah, my mom got me that one for Christmas this year. It seems nice. I've only played with it a little bit, but
it's great.
What are the buttons?
Yeah, you got to program them. You can program them for each game for whatever button you want. That like, you just think for that game, what would be more convenient to have there rather than somewhere else. I would assume usually it's something on the top here, or maybe at Y or X potentially. I don't know. I've got it in Mario Kart on whichever one lets me look behind myself.
Oh, that's smart.
One. Yeah,
that's smart. Yeah, because that's really the bitch. I hate whenever someone's throwing the shell behind me. I'm like, man, how do you do that good?
I've been having to adjust to not having to pop the item out myself. The item popping out on its own. because normally I would like hold shells with holding out down the item button, but now they just stay behind me on their own.
Yeah.
So the first few races I did was absolutely like just firing shells I didn't want to be.
Yeah. You should definitely hold you, especially if you're in the lead. That's insurance right there. Shell insurance.
But I mean, like you used to physically have to hold the button to hold it behind you.
Yeah.
Now you don't. But I didn't know, so I was hitting the button,
You're
was
just doing it
throwing
the whole
them,
time.
and now I just don't have an item, and I'm just driving around like an idiot without protection. It's super fun. I still have not gotten like I can't do the crouch jump very well, where you like when you're driving straight, you can just push it down and hop up, and that gets you onto some grinds.
I have not been able to do that either, but I
I'm
can
not
do it to like I know when to time it to get the boost, but I don't really know how to get on the rails when I'm just flat driving.
Yeah, it's like you got to be driving completely straight to do it, which is annoying because I'm bad at that. My fingers go left and right constantly.
The snorkels are about to beat your ass, bro.
Birdos, fuck Birdo. This is hands down my favorite game of all time. No questions asked.
This is hilarious.
This was the one on GameCube. They made a second one on. It was either on Wii U or Switch, and it's just not as good. This still feels as good as it did in 2005. It's crazy. Or 2006, whatever year it came out.
Nice. Okay. But when are they giving me my NFL Street remasters?
Dude, I bought a GameCube so I could get NBA Street. So I have NBA Street Volume 1, but I got
Volume 1's cool, but
Volume 2 is hard to find, so I just went ahead and got Volume 1.
Volume 1 is sneaky. It's just short, if I remember correctly.
Well, I think it's a good thing to play before Volume 2, where just they like take the training wheels off, kind of like Breath of the Wild and a Tears of the Kingdom in a sports version.
Bonafide.
But it's mostly just because I can't find Volume 2, or at least not at a reasonable price.
You have block your shot. That's what I loved about them is all of the special.
I remember when you would do a self alley-oop off the board, dinner was served.
Yeah,
dinner served. You get a lot of off the heat. I did a lot of off the heezies.
See,
you just throw it off someone's head and catch it and run past them.
You might make me have to go search through the backwards compatible on the Switch.
I mean, there's absolutely an emulator somewhere.
Did this cost you $8,000?
No. The console you could right now you can pretty much get every old
console. This game, is this on Nintendo Store?
This is on Switch, so this is the Switch Online. I think I pay like
Switch Online has all the back. That's how they're getting everybody. Is if you want backwards compatible.
Yeah, because there are some that you can buy digital like remakes of, but now they've kind of moved to this model. Like,
which is what I have mostly.
So we used to have like I think the ultimate marketplace for old games like this, and they're slowly getting it to that point. There's only like 5 GameCube games because GameCube's exclusively on Switch 2, so they're slowly building that.
Yeah, no, I didn't have GameCube. The only one I would want is True Crime Streets of LA, and I don't think they're going to give me that.
What system is that?
It was GameCube. Well, I think they made it for everybody, but it was like one of the few.
GameCube era, though. Okay.
It was one of the few M-rated GameCube games you could buy, and it was. Have you ever played the True Crime games?
No, I'm not really familiar with what they are.
It was basically GTA, but you had the opportunity you're the cop, right? And you're either a dirty cop or you could be a clean cop, and you kind of got to live your life.
Oh, it's Knights of the Old Republic, but
yeah, it was very similar to Knights of the Old Republic in that way.
That's just the only game I could think of off the top of my head where you actually have good and evil like that.
That's exactly what they were going for. And True Crime Streets of LA was really funny because it was like there was a Snoop Dogg Lowrider mini game that you would unlock at the end of it if you beat it, and you would just get to drive around as Snoop Dogg in a lowrider, just fucking people up like GTA.
See if I give up a goal while I'm not paying attention.
You've got room to spare. Jesus, this gonna suck.
I think I left it on the default difficulty settings. That's why I'm killing them.
Whoa.
It is cool though in this game. You can do. I'm not gonna get to pull it off. Oh, a 2-point shot. Oh, I made it. Only the captains can do it.
Jesus, he just hit. That's a handball. Okay, Maradona.
What? Who hit it with their hands?
Oh, okay, that was a kick. It looked like he reared up and punched it.
Yeah, but they do have Wind Waker already, which is very nice. One of the best Zelda games. So I'll be touching that, and then it's got Luigi's Mansion on there too, which I never got to play as a kid. So
Yeah, so I know a lot about Luigi's Mansion. Zelda I've played on and off because I knew people would have 64s, and I would play like some of that. Like I think Majora's Mask.
it's if you don't own it, it's like I don't even know what playing it is because you're just kind of like running around.
Yeah, basically you're just doing missions or something, whatever.
Which maybe now with Breath of the Wild and Tears, it's like closer to doing like a Grand Theft Auto type thing where you could do that, but
you're just vibing. This is how soccer should be played.
I'm telling you, man.
They should be able to just knock each other the fuck out.
If I hit someone who doesn't have the ball, they get an item.
Oh, okay.
But you can only get 2 items. So once they have 2, I'm just laying waste.
That's well.
But that's because this
have to rewrite the rules.
AI right now is on the low level, so they're just not using their items, which means I'm just going to destroy them. Which makes it look like I'm good.
No, this is actually online. You're playing
no.
a small child.
Yeah. There's I'm playing against professional Super Mario Strikers players. Probably exists actually.
Maybe. Probably somebody streaming this. Yeah, I mean there is a vast.
I assume there's some kind of like tournament scene for this game because it's very arcadey.
Feels like they would probably bring it as a package of other games. You know?
Yeah, and like an auxiliary to a Smash Bros. Tournament or something.
Yeah.
Killed them. All right. Well, I don't know, man.
Beautiful.
Sports. Got any more sports?
Yeah, we're gonna do resolutions. We're gonna do resolutions.
Yeah. NBA resolutions.
Well, basketball resolutions.
Basketball.
At least one of them isn't quite, or 2 of them isn't quite.
The Naismith Bethke basketball resolutions.
Yes. Your boy Victor Wembanyama is going to make a resolution to not skip media availability after tough losses because it detracts from the fun stuff, like all the shit talking he does to Chet Holmgren or the little banging on the drum.
When his grandma died?
The grandma die is fine. We get a pass on the grandma die.
Did he not do it on Christmas?
There's been more
cases. The weird loss to the Jazz.
Wemby's been a bit touchy, and I like it. It's fun. I'm glad he has more personality than what we might have assumed about him.
Than Cooper Flag.
I mean, Cooper's a basketball player.
He has got the perfect attitude for playing and living in North Texas.
He is a basketball player, dude.
He's just like the Ranger superstars.
But that's going to be Wemby's. The Los Angeles Lakers. They have decided their New Year's resolution, not be good at defense, but be mediocre at defense. JJ Redick had to rip into his team multiple times for effort.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. If that was worth even noting.
It's funny. It's the veterans causing it. A little bit of that.
It's unfortunate because you're like, oh, LeBron should be handling this stuff, but he's probably
like it's the funny part of where they are as a team, and it's like Luka has this issue, but there's times where you'll see Luka being the most active defender on the roster, and it's
like maybe they thought getting Luka was going to inspire LeBron to not be in senioritis mode anymore, but
it's not even just senioritis. Like this is how LeBron has always handled December and January in basketball. Like he really. Like he's been very openly, rec league LeBron for a couple months.
I grew up in the military basketball where it's you got to practice the way you play, and if you do it wrong in practice, you're gonna do it wrong in the game. And
for him, it's not been that.
And you got to set the example for the other guys on your team, no matter who you are. That's why Tim Duncan gets yelled at. You know what I mean?
But I mean, it's true in this situation because look. DeAndre Ayton was brought in as a flyer. He could be great for them. It could be a great marriage, but he has still got massive questions in the grown-up department.
was part of the Kyrie LeBron initial breakup because Kyrie's like, I want to freaking work hard at basketball, and LeBron was like, it's December, dude. Let's chill.
Not exactly, but I do think that some version of that is true. I think, yeah, LeBron gaming the system because he's that much smarter or whatever, better at it.
He was also a lot younger, so he might not have been doing that as hard back then.
Yeah, well, I think LeBron, knowing what he knows, has always been a little bit too, like, he's almost been a little too cerebral sometimes. Like, why I think he had 8 points in a finals game, is sometimes he's overthinking and it's obvious. And I think for him, he has chosen to be very smart about how he plays in the regular season, and usually it comes at the top end of the defensive day. It's why he hasn't made as many off defensive teams as people think he should.
Say, to be fair, at this point in his career, he shouldn't be in your top defenders probably on your team. Like, you should probably figure that out.
But he's still number 2 in salary, right? Or
one. That's like you can figure that. You should be able to fill that gap with other people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the real story with the Lakers is they've got roster problems and they got to figure that out.
They could really use an Anthony Davis type.
Yeah. Well, so could the Mavs. We are.
What do we think? What do we think, Trey? Are the Hawks really going to do a full reboot for the new gen?
Potentially, I don't think that they will, but I am interested. So the Mavs, I have their New Year's resolution. They vowed to keep the trade rumor mill alive single-handedly. Okay, because
just don't trade Anthony Davis.
It's basic. Well, but right now, if you believe the rumors, you have Patrick Dumont wants to see Kyrie play with these guys, and if that's going to keep happening, like, we don't have that many interesting trade rumors and trade. He's falling
into the Jerry Jones trap.
The new CBA is way too difficult to make trades in, and we're seeing a drastic decrease in the way that trades are happening in the NBA. And this is interesting as far as how the NBA is followed, because historically this hasn't been the case. So it is an interesting one. I don't know if the Hawks will end up being the guys that make the trade, but I do think it's interesting that they're talking with Atlanta. They have nepotism. They have attachment to an old guy.
You have to find someone who's willing to move some kind of top end money, right? So,
right, yeah. So that's where I also think that there is a world where maybe Anthony Davis just isn't traded at all this season, because it's just how, at this point it might have to be an off-season deal. So that one's kind of where the Mavs are. There's a New Year's resolution for a lot of the league. This one's a blanketed league thing, because now we know if you're a well-paid role player, so not the end of the bench guy who hasn't got a second contract, but you're also not a star, because we know stars won't really do this. Maybe some rare exceptions. Fighting is back in. We had a real fight, some fisticuffs. We had some fun. We had a fight. Mark Williams and Jose Alvarado threw some punches. Nothing too crazy, but there were punches thrown and connected. 2 games for Jose Alvarado to match the punches he landed, and 1 game for Mark Williams to match his punches landed. And all I'm saying is, if you do the math, this sort of is the NBA kind of winking and being like, look, if you've got a second contract and you can take a game check hit, maybe you can throw some punches.
That's the way to load manage. You just got to pay for it.
You just gotta, take a couple games off, throw a couple punches. It's an interesting concept. I thought it was a very light punishment from the league office, so I'm interested to see if anyone else has the balls to maybe think not think twice the next time they want to get a little frisky on the court. This is a story we've already known about, but it seems like Houston is vowing to bring the Comets back to life as the Connecticut Sun.
Comets. I heard comments. And I was like, have they just been dark since since I don't even know what they would have done? Something about China, probably.
No, they're long since those days. Houston has vowed to bring back the Comets.
That would have been during the pandemic, right? The whole Maury, China, LeBron.
Yeah, I think it was the year following the COVID year.
Ooh, I can get the Oregon Trail for $14 on the Switch right now.
Jesus. The league is vowing to make injury reports better for bettors. Of course, and to make sure that the league is safe. Of course, it's to make sure that it's safe. But
They should absolutely be doing more hockey style. Go the other way. He
no,
has a lower body injury. You figure it out.
they are going super specific now. Actually, I won't bore with the details, but they are making people go quite specific on the timing.
What's the point of that?
It's
what are they saying is the point of that?
They're trying to curb what Terry Rozier and Jonte Porter and those guys were doing.
So it's trying to be more transparent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I guess actually more actually it was the LeBron one, the one that Damon Jones is allegedly, in trouble for doing with the Lakers, is where he knew LeBron was going to play, put a bet on it because the injury report hadn't come out.
Oh, okay, got you.
The Georgetown's head coach Ed Cooley and Toronto Raptors star Brandon Ingram have both vowed this year to not throw water bottles anymore. Both of them in this year have been caught raging on the bench, and with Brandon Ingram, he spiked it in front of him and then just immediately hit the water boy in the face, which
he wasn't doing a Josh Hamilton.
Ed Cooley had a hilarious one where he was just doing the whole college coach freak out, and then he let the bottle fly, and some poor lady sitting about 4 rows behind his team bench just got in the face with a water bottle.
It's probably worth it. You probably got something pretty sweet out of that.
That is probably pretty stupid that we have to have this conversation, but it's
it hurts. It's gonna hurt immediately, but whatever you're getting out of that is worth more than whatever that pain was to you for a few minutes.
Very likely. Speaking of potential fighting in the NBA, this one was a fight, but this one was a traditional NBA hold me back fight. Giannis decided to take a big dunk and a dump on the Chicago Bulls the other night, and then it led to a whole lot of hold me back. Giannis, however, did not get involved in that. He immediately walked off the court.
Okay, I was about to say he's
the
person I would take one of the people I take the least seriously in the league trying to fight. No, he's huge. He's a scary guy, but there's something about him. I'm like, nah.
Giannis's New Year's resolution is to be a menace, because on the court, he's doing that. Keep in mind, he just got back from injury, right? They need him. They're not playing well. Trade rumors are swirling like crazy. He comes back. They beat Chicago. And then he starts this fight, walks off the court. Then whenever the press starts asking him about stuff, he says that he wants to make the team tough and he doesn't give a shit about the unwritten rules. And which is fine. But then the media starts asking him about the trade rumors, and then he gets real pissed off. And he's like, I'm here. Don't ask that. So just excellent version of Giannis we have right now. Not in a happy camper, it would seem. The Suns are vowing to keep Jalen Green off the court as much as humanly possible. He's barely played this season, and we thought they were going to be a lottery team, and instead they might be one of the top 4 best teams in the Western Conference somehow. Again, he hasn't played much. In fact, his most notable contribution is last night. He got on a microphone during his teammates' press conference and yelled, "You the fucking man," or something like that. And then Colin Gillespie, being the white boy he is, goes, "We're on live TV right now." And he's like,
he's their Austin Hedges.
To which Jalen Green goes, I don't care. Like, I just appreciate he got fined. He got big fine today.
Really big fine?
Pretty decent fine, yeah, because this happens. Like, cussing, being overheard cussing during the post-game interview happens. But you're supposed to just kind of move on from it. So both Gillespie acknowledging what had happened and then Jalen Green doubling down
yeah.
was a bit of a unfortunate situation there. The Grizzlies.
I don't think they're dumb. I think that's a dumb rule.
That's fair. It is, but FCC, it's local TV. It's these people can't afford to find money as much.
Look, they're basketball players. They're not in charge.
I get that, but they obviously it is an unfortunate part of the post game celebration interviews, no matter what sport,
or maybe not even celebration. Like the opposite, like when your team loses. Like Or the worst case is UFC when they're like, you just woke up from a coma. How do you feel about that fight that you don't remember?
UFC, though, there's a contract. If you're watching people, grown men beat each other up and women beat each other up, you're already in a social contract with that television. With
Yeah, I kind of in my stream of consciousness changed what I was talking about. At that point, I was talking about how unfair it is to that guy. But really, it's unfair to expect anyone to be able to do anything in that position. Like,
you could definitely make a good argument about the post game interviews, regardless, being a little useless, or especially the ones in game.
I'm all jacked up on testosterone. I just played football for 3 hours. You want me to be like calm and polite answering questions?
Exactly. The Memphis Grizzlies have vowed this season to, by the end of the year, giving themselves many outs here to have at least 7 healthy full-time contract players on the court.
Jesus Christ.
They're playing right now, and it seems like they might have hit that tonight.
Is this whole season a Memphis Soul season?
the Memphis brand is not great. John Morant looks like he's dunking like LeBron, and I don't mean that. I mean that like it's LeBron's 41.
Yeah.
So when we saw the air coming out of his dunks, we were like, oh, that sucks. You see it out of John Morant.
He's still in time for a couple more contracts, right?
You see it in John Morant, who's not even 27, I don't think. And you're like, mother of God, what has happened here? You begin to worry very much. But that is a funny one. The Jazz are going to vow to get back to losing once they've gotten to a sweet spot. So sorry for the Spurs. Sorry for the Mavs. There's some other teams that Utah is all of a sudden being like, hey, we're going to beat. Don't worry. We're not a good team. We just have a lottery protected pick. So we need to go ahead and get like 30 wins this season. Cool.
That's right. I didn't want the 1 seed anyways.
Shout out to DFW boy, Keontae George playing hella great for the Utah Jazz. The Nets front office has decided they're going to work as hard as possible to make their roster Jordy proof. Do you know what that means? To Jordy proof their roster?
I don't know anyone in the NBA with the name Jordy off the top of my head.
Their head coach is Jordy Fernandez.
Oh, okay.
Very talented up-and-coming coach. When they hired him, people loved it. But, of course, we were like, well, this is a complete rebuilding project. He's being handed doo-doo butter, so let's see what happens. They started out the season. They started out the season exactly that. And now this guy has them as like one of the top defenses in the league somehow. Oh, and he might get them like incredible draft package for Michael Porter Jr. because he's making Michael Porter Jr., the man in the microphone himself. They are putting him in a position to be the best basketball player we've ever seen him be. Remember, this is a kid who was a former 5-star, big-time deal, could have been the number 1 pick in the draft had it not been for injuries. And it's interesting to see Michael Porter, especially with all the incredible comments that he makes on podcasts. And I truly mean incredible. If you've not dabbled into some of the quotes that come out of this man's mouth, it's almost like if I'm an SNL writer, I quit.
I feel like that's been the last 10 years. I don't know how they're doing it. I actually don't watch the skits. So
the world is funnier than anything they could make up. Be a news anchor at this point if you want to tell jokes. So yeah, that's basically what they're attempting to do. And then Draymond Green has vowed to, let me check this. Never mind. Draymond Green has decided he is not going to change.
Vowed to be Draymond Green.
he is still leaving the game after him and walking off the court after altercations with his head coach in year 20-something. Same head coach the whole time. No, he had one. I forgot. I think his first head coach was his first head coach Steve Kerr? He might have been a rookie for Kerr's first year. No, Kerr's first year was a title. So no, it was Mark Jackson was his first coach.
Okay. But
yeah, either way. Hilarious situation. Yeah, there's a lot of basketball being played. That's the story of it. A lot of football being played. A lot of Switch 2 being played.
And hockey.
Still going pretty well. They're still doing well. They are the power play champions of the world.
Better than last year for sure. I don't know if I can't remember if they're still top of the league right now, but haven't been looking at the stats as much.
No, there's no stats watching yet. What is the trade deadline?
March.
Do we get any? Is there any rumblings?
Oh, there's gonna be something. There's no.
We got spoiled last year.
Well, but with Tyler getting hurt, that money is gonna come free, and that's money we're gonna use for somebody. It'd be wild to just sit on.
I mean, I would be.
$1,000.
I think we've been spoiled, but I would be very excited if they back to
People
back
are
trade
gonna want
deadline.
things. We still have things people want. Jim Nill's a genius, so I trust him. We'll get something will happen. It might not. I mean, it won't be. Yeah, we're not gonna get another top 10 in the league player probably, but that's okay. You can't get one of those every year.
Yeah.
There's only so many of them out there. 10, if I had to.
It sounds like there's 9 of them available.
Yeah.
9 of them not currently on the roster.
I don't think the Oilers are partying with McDavid anytime soon. I doubt Chicago is going to let us have Bedard. San Jose's got this kid, Celebrini, who might actually be the best one right now, but he's too young for us to say for sure.
Celebrini.
The real talk in the hockey world is whether or not they're going to be smart and let Jason Robertson play for Team USA in the Olympics. But that's a whole other conversation. But that's coming up. We're going to have Olympics, and there's going to be a U.S. hockey team, and they're going to try to get their 4th ever gold medal.
U.S. hockey.
Yeah. Nothing's happened on the Rangers side of things.
No, apparently, yeah. No, we don't even talk about the Rangers because all my hopes and dreams are gone there. Yeah, we're just running it back.
I was looking at North Texas basketball games. Pretty cheap to get in there, man.
Yeah, it should be fine. They're not. I don't know.
I don't really know where the pit actually is. I mean, I have to go find it, but
the pit, like the actual pit, the whole thing is called the Super Pit.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole arena is the Super Pit technically.
I still don't know where it is.
Oh, it's just in the middle of campus. It's right. I graduated there. It's pretty chill, dude. Basketball's pretty chill there.
I never venture into the campus. I'm kind of around the outskirts sometimes.
It's next to Fouts, or where Fouts used to stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually do know.
It's the big building.
I do know that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I might go to a North Texas basketball game sometime soon.
Oh yeah. I think the ladies are better than the men this year, but yeah, it's been a good program. They're obviously changing.
Yeah. It's like $20 and you can be on like row 4. Pretty cool. Not quite as good as getting to go to games for free when I played trumpet, and unfortunately, North Texas is too good of a music school for me to be like, hey, could I just come hang out and play?
No, for sure on that one. And as someone who has been to many, actually, I've probably been to more UNT basketball games than football games. Used to go to them free. It's a labor of love. At least when I was there wasn't a. Now it's fun. Now they play like a real useful college basketball system. Back then, oh my god,
they're still trying to run the 4 corners. They just kept getting shot clock violations.
Oh my god, I'll never forget the Tony Mitchell year of being like, oh my god, we've got an NBA prospect, and then just like game after game being like, he's gonna be better this time. He's gonna be better this. This time he's gonna play hard. And it's gonna be fun to watch.
I don't know how you found a video of me watching JJ McCarthy, but
no, I think that you're gonna like JJ eventually.
I think so.
Trade him for Joe Hart.
It's only 1 year. I'm definitely not out on him yet, but watching Brosmer was
but if you're
the fact that guy is on, the fact that Brosmer is on a roster tells me that we don't know. Football is an unsustainable sport. Quarterbacks can't be made. There's only like 3 people who can do it.
Tom Brady's gonna have to come back out of retirement as a cyborg.
I don't understand why that position seems so uniquely difficult.
Oh, I actually do. I think because football is not a game that prioritizes individual thinking, and I don't think prioritizes high intellect things. Like, look at the way Victor Wembanyama carries himself off the court. There's plenty of other people in other sports. I think football by nature takes rarities like Caleb Williams that feel like guys who are more than just football guy. And I think when it's just football guy, you get guys who are very well trained to do something specific, but aren't independent actors.
Yeah, it's definitely more militaristic.
Yeah.
It's cogs in a machine rather than fluidity for sure.
And I think with the NFL, I think with football, that might be the right thing to do for every position but that one, for the most part. Like that one, I think they need to have more of a soccer player, basketball player mentality.
Yeah, I would say your entire skill position. Like, yeah, you want your receivers to run their proper routes, but also you want them and the quarterback to be on a page where no one can predict what they're going to do together.
Right, but ultimately they are doing one specific job. The quarterback is managing over many different jobs at the same time, which is why I think it's imperative that they have good critical thinking. Not even good, I think they have to have exceptional critical thinking and processing skills. And I think that comes from way more than just football. You know what I mean? Like Tom Brady might be a bit of a weirdo, but he seems like a very well-read, very well-studied, very curious person. And I think that's probably got more to do with why he was so cerebral at the position.
Yeah, and there's definitely there's something about your brain, their brain's natural ability to slow things down.
And that also comes over time, and right, it just feels like you see Josh Allen, incredible talent, but it feels like he's stuck in nowhere. Favre, shit.
I mean, Romo talked about it like he finally felt like he got it as his body was completely collapsing on him.
But even with Romo, would have Romo done what Favre did? Win a Super Bowl potentially or whatever, win an MVP, whatever the highest mark is for what he could have been able to do, and then fall into the complacency of what he's done being successful, which was for Favre. For Favre to have only had one Super Bowl was absolutely almost not 100 because it's a very different situation in Green Bay. But Brett Favre let the Packers down a lot of times and the Vikings once by just simply not making better decisions.
I lay zero blame on his feet for that game. Yeah, he did throw a pick there at the end, but so many other things went wrong in that game also that I'm not.
I have to say, though, just as much as we know that if the Dallas Cowboys are going to host a playoff game as the favorite, that we should be terrified of picking them, Brett Favre to close out a game that means something, realistically, more times than not, meant throwing a pick.
He did it the week prior. It was fine. So, or maybe not. Maybe it was 2 weeks prior. I don't remember. But
and he also had that one against San Francisco in that season where he just fucking slung that bitch and they caught it at the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
So obviously you understand the talent, but the reality is Mahomes was probably the best version of all of it because he managed to find those two lines. It's like, you are this artist that shouldn't be just militaristic, but you also have to be, you have to be somewhat conservative. Favre is like, I'm
baseball dad.
Favre is like, look, I leave all my conservative on the outside of the football field. Okay, when I get into this football playing field, I'm a liberal person. Okay, that ball's there, and there.
He's still very conservative. It's just his way or the highway, and. He believes in his own personal freedoms and no one else's.
Next week, we'll break down his pick for the 2028 presidential nominee.
Ooh, Trump.
No, it's okay. I think that they're all smart enough to go with the Vance thing so that they don't seem unconstitutional.
Well, no, the beauty is they can just say it all they want.
No, but I think that they're trying to seem like because the Constitution's their thing, so now they have to be like, oh, wait. That's what they're.
I think their thing now is they say what they want, and then they're like, well, let's see what the courts say about it later. And even then, 50-50 what we might do. Let's see if anyone does anything is kind of the general approach that I'm seeing here.
Did Netflix make a documentary about this? No? Cool. We will not have to answer to this. Quick, give them more P. Diddy tape.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely no overlap in any of that for sure. I was actually listening because I've been listening to these video essays about old video games, and I'd heard the story of Tetris before, but I didn't realize how involved Robert Maxwell and his son were in trying to get the rights for Tetris. but failing ultimately.
Why? What do they want?
To
Just
to
own
sell it in
Okay.
consoles and arcades outside of
okay.
Russia, basically.
That makes sense.
So Robert Maxwell obviously had a bunch of connections high up in Russia, and he was upset when he found out he wasn't getting his way. But so be it.
Oh, they know something about that.
Unfortunately, had his way in a lot of other places. So,
Hey yo,
with that, we're gonna end this 2025 season year blowout. I did want to do like a game, but it was not going to be fun without both of you here. So
it's okay. We can pick it back up next week.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, next week you might get a 2025 year in review and sports game.
Okay, I fuck with it.
Yeah.
All right.
But don't study anything.
No, never. I would never do that. It's just like my NFL picks, all off the hip.
All right, man. Well, sweet. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
See you later.
Be
Bye,
safe
everybody.
tomorrow and enjoy.
You as well. Thanks. Where is the